from my experience working with women and stories I've heard, we do like that sense of security. And a sense of security comes from, oh, there is that cash I'm just looking at in my account that is giving me peace of mind, you know. But I strongly always advise that we need to move to that phase of investment. So what investment opportunities are out there for women, you know, for us as women? There are many opportunities, right? And this is one of the advantages that the other gender, the male gender, have capitalized on, because they are more, they tend to be more, they tend to embrace risk more. They tend to have risk appetites, like that risk appetite to explore investment opportunities. So this is something I will speak on: courage for us as women to embrace opportunities that are out there, to not shy away from new things, to learn, to expose ourselves to this information, you know, much more than just attending all the seminars, much more than just reading all the books. We need to start putting these things into action. Another thing I'm a champion of is also engaging the power of collaboration with other women. Throughout this month, every speaking engagement I've had, you know, I've always talked about this. Women, we need to leverage networks. We need to leverage collaboration, right? Because it is quite common. It is quite common for the other gender. One thing they've done is to really embrace the power of networking, right? Embrace the power of working together, pulling resources together, pulling knowledge and skills together. You know, if a guy hears about an opportunity now, he's quick to talk to his guy friend, like, oh, this opportunity might actually be good for you. You know, let's do that also as women. Let's come together, buy real estate, come together, learn, come to put resources together and move ourselves forward. So courage, two things I'm going to speak on when it comes to investing, and maybe further in this conversation, I will talk more about investment opportunities that are actually out there. But starting out, I would say let's have courage to embrace those opportunities in the first place. And then let's also embrace the power of collaborating with other women. So I don't know if it is at this point that I'm supposed to talk about the opportunities I want to talk about, or you want to bring on other speakers. Let me know which way you would like us to go.
Oh, okay. I would like for the other speakers to also say something. They will go into like the opportunities are first that are available for women. But thank you so much for trying to shift women's mindset from just thinking that, oh, they are good with money, or they manage the home. So like, yes, they're good with money. Even statistics have it that women are good with money, but far beyond being good with money, like, what legacies are you trying to leave with this money? What investments are you trying to get with this money? Like, there's much more than managing just money. There's creating wealth with money, and that women should tap into that because they already have it naturally. And also, you mentioned courage, having the courage to embrace opportunities, and truly, even there's facts to prove that women deal with imposter syndrome, even when they are up to like tasks, like, or they can do things, or they can buy land, they will always shy from it first. And that's very, very not unlike the other gender. They would, like you said, we will grab these opportunities. And yes, women should also leverage on collaboration. Thank you so much, Beth, for your points. So next is Ngozi. Ngozi, please come and share with us why you think this topic is really important right now. I know, yes, this month is for IWD, it's for International Women, but like, why do you really think women should target investments for women? Why do you think women should go into investments more now? And from your experience, why do you think it's really necessary for women to do this right now?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. It's good to be here.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Just like you said, I mean, my name is Ngozi Nwabweze, and I'm a legal practitioner, and the CEO of Pocket Lawyers, right? So this is a very interesting and very timely topic, and I will tell you why. it's what's the word now? It's funny and almost unthinkable that at the point where we are, women are still even being prevented from owning property. You know, we're still that far behind. But not to worry, I don't think it's such a, I mean, there are some bright spots. And let me just point out the bright spots. As at September 2020 last year, Rivers State, for example, passed a law which is the right to share in Rivers State prohibition of the curtailment of women's right to share in family property law number 2 of 2020. This was passed by, the State House of Assembly of Rivers State, and then of course also Abia State, governed by Governor Ikpeazu. As of November 2020, they passed a law, the female person's rights of inheritance of property law 2020. It just shows that we're starting to come out of the trenches, right, as women. Literally, we are literally starting to come out of the trenches. It's insane. And I personally experienced it. My mom, who is late, I mean, it's been almost 20 years. Her mother was very enterprising, and she had property. She had, I think, a one-story building, and I'm talking so many years ago, right? She was prevented from inheriting property because she was the only girl amongst her brothers, right? Now, these are the realities, and this is where we women are coming from. But this is 2023. I think it's time for us to start to step up to the plate and not just invest. Yes, it's okay for you to invest with your partner, right? But I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with you investing as an individual on your own as a human being. Then also, I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting investments aside for your children, born and even unborn. Very possible, very doable. So, I mean, looking at the trajectory that the laws and the government is coming from, I think we are starting to get there. And then we too, I think we need to start to be emboldened, to take investment opportunities seriously. If not for anything, for posterity's sake and for our children's sake, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ngozi. I really, really like the point you noted. And everybody keeps saying courage, boldness. So really women deal with imposter syndrome that do not allow them go for these opportunities. And thank you for also noting all of these places where they are adjusting their policies and laws to in favor of women. And who would have thought that in 2023 there were still laws in stopping women from owning land. I mean, let's forge ahead with our discussions, and this is why we need to have discussions such as this. And it just points out to why International Women's Day is really important, because we need to bring these topics to limelight. We need to address this issue. We need to make the public know. We need to inform ourselves of things that are going on. So thank you so much, Busola. If you've been able to fix the technical issue, please can you put on your video and just give us in 5 minutes why you think why this topic is really important right now. And if Busola is still unable to do that, we'll just go to our other speaker, Mrs. Adekbeju Jayoba. Yes, Adekbeju Jayoba. Please.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Finally.
Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Oluwabusola Adewale Kayode. I'm a founder of the Money Flex Tribe, where I teach people about finance, budgeting, ways to make their money work for them, basically, and also to bring out financial solutions to help with financial problems that we might encounter. So, women over the years have actually encountered a lot of issues coming from the society, from our household. These things have actually limited women from investing, which the men generally would actually find it, very easy to do. Like the other speakers said, time has changed to where women feel the need to just think about to just be about baby making machine or just feeding the house alone. I think time has passed where women need to think about financial security for themselves and for their generations to come. And there's this mindset that I don't know if other tribe, but my tribe actually feels so much like people would say when you're a young woman, do not acquire wealth, do not have too many things that you're doing. And I think that's one of the mindsets that have actually gone against the women in these when they get older, because while you are younger, your mother will tell you, your father will tell you that if you acquire so much wealth, no man will marry you, because the men feel intimidated when you are you are an investor, you have this, you have that, you have land, you have. So I feel this mentality have actually been there for a long time, and it's time for women to actually stand up, take bold steps to ensure that they manage their finances. So it's not all about now, I think it's about the future. And that's why you see majority of marriage issues, divorce issues, the women are always the one who actually lose a lot in this side of the world, not, unlike all those abroad now that after divorce, the women cash out. But in African setting here, it's the women that actually lose a lot. Even if they bring a lot to the marriage, they will end up leaving the marriage with nothing. So I think these things have actually limited a lot of women from investing, because they feel like after investing, they might actually not get anything back. So I feel this topic is something that we need to, emphasize always. We need to always preach it out to women that investment is key. Taking control of your finance is key. No matter what is happening, no matter what the society thinks and what society believes, investing is really key. So I know that as we go on this topic today, it's actually going to, there are going to be some high openers on how women can actually key into the investment. So investment is not about men alone, and investment is about both gender. Both of us need to have the money together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ursula, for what you said. You said that investment is key and we need to take control of our lives. Like we're moving more than just being, like the roles we play in family is great, but like the women are way more than just that. They can create generational wealth for their children and so much more. They can do so much more. Yes, Adequate, please, if you're on, please can you join and just introduce yourself also? Um, please, Adequate, Ms. Jayoba. Um, hello. Okay, okay. When she joins, then she would do that. So far, Ife, Busola, and Ngozi have said that women need to be courageous about their investment decision, and also they need to be bold and take investment serious. Now, I would like to talk about, yes, while our speakers were talking, they mentioned some of factors that indeed or hindrances that women face when they are trying to invest. Some of which Ngozi pointed out to laws that do not, she pointed out to laws that do not allow women inherit properties. And yes, so but I would like each of our speakers to answer what are some other vices or interests that you've noticed that do not allow women invest, whether it be policy, social biases, social norms. And also, while mentioning that, I would like you to also emphasize on some of the characteristics that actually make women great investors. Yeah. characteristics, because I know that women are less likely to take high risk. So they are more calm at taking different investment tools, and they will be they are better at picking different investment tools, and they won't just they are less prone to taking risky investment. So yes, from Ife, I'd like you to just mention some of the hindrances that women face in trying to invest or just gaining properties generally. Then secondly, characteristics that women have that actually helps them be good investors. Thank you. So like if you're ready, you could go first.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, so at first I mentioned that the society have actually made it look like, as a young woman, if you're acquiring wealth, you would actually not get married because, women have believed that the society believes that when a woman is rich and when a woman has money, she becomes proud and she wants to take over the duty of the man. So that's one of the major things that has actually prevented women, you get, from one generation to another generation. You hear your mother telling you, don't acquire wealth, or don't do all these things because men will not marry you. Then you too, when you are married, you try to tend to tell your children until you get maybe one generation decides to break it. That's the point where you see people, you hear of women who are actually, making money or they had properties. And if I've actually looked at the ratio of women who own properties to the ratio of women who do not, women ourselves, we have our own problem. We tend to throw our achievements on each other's face, like me, I'm married with child, I'm having an happy home, I'm not divorced, and I don't have investment. But you have investment, you don't have children, you get, like, we have our own problem. So all these things have actually limited women from investing. And another thing is, the male gender have always made us feel like they are the head, they are supposed to be the superior, they're supposed to be the one providing. Even they will even take you back to the Bible, that men are supposed to be the one providing, doing all those things, and women are just supposed to be the baby making machine and being in the kitchen and on the other room as well. So that's like the major duty of what the society have also made us do. So these are the things that have actually restricted women from wanting to create wealth for themselves, from wanting to generate more, to have an investment. And you said characteristics of why women make bigger investments. See, naturally, I'll tell you, women are multipliers. And there's this quote that they when give a woman a home, when you give a woman a house, it is a home. When you get, women are known to be multiplier. We multiply everything we are doing, and that's because our brain, we multitask. Like, we can do a million things. That's what makes every woman unique. You see, these men, they can just do one thing at one time. But you see a woman can do 100 things at the same time, and that's how unique we are. So sometimes the multiplying factor that is in us, you get, makes us to put our minds down. And we used to think, we think very well when it comes to money. Forget the fact that maybe they will say when women is in love, they give out money. But you see women that wants to put their business, they want to do business, you will see them thinking a lot deeper than what the other gender would have actually done. They would think deeper and make good decisions first before they do those things. So these things have actually made us to be unique and great. You get. So the only thing is, you know what you carry, you know what you have. Now it's time for you to just stop, limiting yourself, taking that bold step to doing what you are meant to do. Women, we multiply in everything we do. So when you hear of women who are in investments, women who are rich, you would find them getting rich, like their riches are more than what the men would even be competing with. So you should understand that women, we are multipliers. That's what we are. we multiply everything that we do. Investment, income, in business, even in our homes, we are multipliers. Please, did you hear me? Oh.
Yes. You said women are multipliers. You mentioned that one of the biggest hindrances women face is the fear that they won't be marriageable. Do I put it that way? But men will run away from them if they acquire so much wealth. And this is very true because I remember watching a Yoruba movie, and literally this lady was born, I think she was 30 something, and then she has not gotten married, she had no suitors, and they told her that she had to go and she has to drop her car, she has to stop using her car so that she can find husband. And truly, when she stopped using her car and started dressing low, she started dressing like she didn't have money. That was when she was able to get somebody to marry. And I just felt like that is a very wrong mindset to put out there. But like, is yes, I really, really, really like that point that you made. Ngozi, please tell us. You already mentioned one earlier, but like,
let me say something.
Yes.
No man will reduce his status or bring himself down to be able to get any woman or a woman. I see no reason why any woman should be ashamed or she want to mask whatever it is she has achieved just so that she can get a man. First things first, if you are doing that, you can be assured that whoever it is you're going to end up with is not somebody who is going to be at your, let me use the word on your level, or will be at par with you to be able to take it to the next level. You would be settling. You have no business settling. You need to have and be with a man who is not afraid of your success. If anything, it should be an inspiration for him to be able to go out there and be more and do more.
True.
He should not be scared. If anything, he should be the one to be able to help you position your things and say, okay, you know what? I mean, I had a client young lady, she has quite a lot of properties. And when I mean young, she's really young. The man came into her life and helped her say, okay, you know what? I think this is what you should do. This is how you should go about it. And boom, right now, they are doing fantastically well. That is the kind of man you need in your life. If you're not getting that kind of man, trust me, you are settling. You have no business settling. You have absolutely no business settling or reducing whatever it is because you will end up not achieving your full potential if you end up with that kind of a man. Trust me, it will be the wrongest decision you would ever make in your life. You have no business. If you're living in Lekki already, please stay there. You'll find people that are there. If you're driving a Benz, please, you will get somebody who is driving a Range. Let's stop it. Let's kill it. Let this be the generation that ends it. Let this be the generation that kills that. We have no business settling. Please.
Okay. Thank you so much. Well, is there any other interest that you
yes, and I think yes, of course, just like Ulubusola said, right? Women are very calculative. We always think several steps ahead for everything we want to do. We always think several steps ahead, which is fantastic, right? Because when we make these decisions, we make them from a place of deep thought and a lot of calculation has gone in, right? But I think another thing that we women should also do is a lot of the reasons why a lot of women don't even have enough money to even, put into investment, or let me say high risk investment or high level investment, is because first and foremost, they are not taking risks. They are playing it safe. This is just me taking a couple of steps back, right? They are playing it safe. Or there are things they really want to do, but they are not willing to do, or they don't want to do, or they don't have the courage to do it because they don't want to be perceived as ambitious, right? They don't want to be perceived as, oh, she's wanting to do too much. Please do too much. Do the most, right? Because it's usually from taking those kind of risks. I mean, that's what men do. they want to do something, they go ahead and do it. It could fail, yes. But I mean, what if it doesn't? What is the flip side of that? What if, it takes them to the absolute next level that they need to be? And that usually is always the case. So we women need to minus even investment, because first and foremost, like I said, you need to have taken some risks and, have systems in place that are helping you make money for you to be able to have tangible investments. So I think we need to start to take more risks. For example, this is my year of taking risks. Like, I'm jumping into anything that I see. So even if it's just you taking that 1 year and saying, okay, you know what, this thing I've been thinking about for so long, let me even try it. If it fails, fine. At least I will sit down in my rocking chair at 65 and know that I tried. So I think taking a couple of steps back, we need to start to take more risks with what it is we have thought about, because that thing that is in your head that you haven't been able to sleep about, there's a reason why it keeps coming back to you. Please go ahead and do it. That is probably where your breakthrough lies, right? Let's stop playing small in what it is we're doing, and not just that. And that would also translate into the kind of investments we're doing. Men are very big risk takers when it comes to investment. They do it, sometimes they lose, and a lot of the times they don't. And that is why, it's more like they are the high flyers when it comes to investing. So I think women should take more risk generally, not just with our investment, but with what it is we are doing to be able to make the money and earn the money that we can now eventually invest. Right? Yes. And please stop playing small.
Because he really took this very interesting. Thank you so much. Yes,
it's personal.
Very personal, yeah. Well, yes, I would like you to also mention some interests and characteristics. And after this, I'd like us to just jump into all of the investment opportunities that women can go into, like what investment opportunities out there, those that are very common, those that are very popular, and even to the ones that are not popular. And yes, I would like everybody to do a very, very detailed, because that's what this particular program is for, like this particular Millennials Hangout is for women to know these things and then be able to tap into it. And if you provide some of these resources, you can put it out there that, oh, I do this in my services, like at MTWI, we do this, we provide this, so that women can make this money. Because I said that we should start taking risks. So this is the year to actually take risks. Ife, over to you. Thank you. Hi, Ife. Ife, if you can hear me, please, can you say something? Okay. I think Busola and Ngozi are the speakers that are presently online. So Busola, again, you have to answer, start mentioning some investment opportunities that are there for women, popular ones, unpopular ones. The ones that you see like women even going for, and you're like, why are women doing this thing? Yeah.
Okay. First, for every woman, I feel one thing you should first do before we even start talking about investment, is identify your risk tolerance. Yes, Ngozi said women take risk, women should take risk. But there are some risks that you take that if you lose your money, I know women see, I think our percentage of the gender that has hypertension are very hypertensive, and that go into depression very easily is women. So first, you need to understand your risk appetite. Know your risk tolerance. What can you tolerate? Okay, if you know that you are somebody that if I put my money here, if I lose 30% of it, I'll still be fine. It won't it won't shake me. Then you will know that, okay, you are more of a conservative investor. But if you are somebody that you are willing, that you know that even if you lose zero, you believe in that instrument, you get it back, then you're an high risk investor. But if you know that you're somebody that cannot take risk, that your own risk, you don't like to lose money at all, then there are safer investments that you can actually do. So for somebody who don't like to take risk, let me first start with them. for such people, you need to invest in high interest, high yield investments. You get that safe fixed income investments. So when I mean fixed income investments, I mean investments that that preserves your capital. That preserves your capital. For example, bond. So okay, sorry, I have to give this example. So I used to have a client when I used to be an investment banker. And this woman, one of those days I was on radio, and she heard me talking about an investment then. So she came to the office, that we had discussion about how she would like to manage her money, how everything. So back then she was, I don't know what she's doing right now, but then she was an akara seller very close to my office. So she was really excited. So she said she was going to start doing 1,000 naira. So first, after evaluating her risk profile and the kind of person she is, and you know that your money, if her money goes like this, she might go and commit suicide, she might just die. So instead, we put her into an instrument, for example, like the money market fund, or what she did. So with that, she was keeping 1,000 naira every day, Monday to Friday. And she did it for like 3 months. And she kept doing it. She was so consistent. And she kept doing that. And the money was generating more money for her. More money and more money for her. So with money market fund is a very low risk investment where you can invest your money into. And it does not require you bringing a big money. So most misconception people have about investment is that I have to be rich. I have to have big funds before I can start investing. So first, you need to know that you don't need to have big money. After evaluating your financial situation, which is when I say evaluate your financial situation, meaning that you need to create a balance sheet. How much are you having in a month? The total amount with your business and everything, your profit, everything, how much you generate per month for you? How much are your expenses, your needs, things you need to do, important things that you need money for every month that are constant. Then after evaluating that, if you evaluate your situation very well, you will always have a surplus. So just because you are investing does not mean that you bring all your capital, your income, then you bring it out, then you go and invest it, then you now start suffering. Investment doesn't work like that. Investment, after creating that balance sheet, then you will know which amount that is open for you to invest. Then you can now invest those sums in instruments that work according to your risk profile. So now, sorry, I have to go back. Okay, so now investment, if you are a low risk investor, I would advise you to invest in bonds. You get fixed income instruments that you have to leave your money for a particular period of time. These instruments, they range from 90 days, some of them 180 days, some 365 days, some 2 years, some 5 years. It depends on which one works better for you and what is your plan. What's your objective of investing in that instrument? Do you want to be investing every month? Do you want to be investing quarterly? Do you want to be investing annually? All these things are something you need to sit down, and write down and evaluate. So if you are also maybe a medium risk investor, I would advise you can take up stocks. So now, life is now better. Before you can buy stock, you need to go to a stockbroker, you need to do all this long process. But now with robo-advisors like Bamboo, Tro, please, can you still hear me? So I know if you are following.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So, robo-advisors like Bamboo, robo-advisors like Trove, with those robo-advisors, you can, put any amount you want to invest on those apps, then buy whichever stocks you would like to buy. So now, one good thing about stocks is your capital is working, being that there's always dividend paid quarterly. Some people pay dividend monthly, some pay quarterly, some pay it annually. So these dividends you get are things that is one thing to say your money is working. These companies take your money, they use it for their business, then they pay you back profits. That's what we call the dividends. So stock is like you're owning a part of that company. So you put your money in that company so that they can use it for business. Then there are ETFs. So ETFs is like, a basket. When you build a basket, then you tend to put apple, put different fruits in it. So that's how ETF is. So ETFs, instead of buying, if you are somebody that, okay, you don't want to own one stock, you can decide to have an ETF. So we have some ETF that, okay, what is in that ETF is all those Tesla, maybe Microsoft, they are all in one ETF. So that ETF, that basket now, since they are all in it, the risk is actually reduced. So that ETF now, you can decide to buy ETFs as well. Then if you are somebody who's still on the medium risk, you can actually invest in real estate as well. So we have some apps now, robo apps, that you don't need to have 25 million naira you get before you can buy into real estate. From where those apps like Kebu now, with Kebu, you do fractional payment, like fractional shares of an apartment with other people. Then you people now you share the profits together. So these are some of the things you can invest in as a medium risk investor. Now, if you are a high risk person that you know that your blood is always hot, you are there, you can monitor, you have the time, you can do this. We have cryptos. So most people would say, crypto is very volatile, crypto people lose money, but there are stable coins that you can actually buy. And one good thing about crypto that I've always loved is that every 4 years, according to the crypto calendar, people always cash out. So, but people do not always understand these policies because they feel like, no, because people are making money now, let me come. Fear of missing out is one of the reasons why people used to buy wrong investments. So, if you're somebody who wants to buy investment, you need to study, you can research their instruments and know how it works. By knowing how it works, you will know what proportion of your money that needs to go into it. But trust me, crypto is actually, for somebody like me, I've actually cashed out several times on cryptos. Wow. And I can tell you with full shares that crypto is a very good investment you can actually do. But please, research is very key. You get
it. I'm young. So I have risk appetite. I risk appetite. So my money for crypto. Will you? I want to cash out. We need to take. Because he said take risk. So yes. I'm ready to take this risk with crypto.
You get so.
I like that you highlighted the different risk appetite that people have, and that is what they should put into consideration first. So for you said that people can have from low to medium to high risk, and for low risk they should go for high yield saving accounts. They should go to money markets, bonds. That those are safer investment opportunities. And then if they think that okay, they can handle a bit of risk, they can go to the stock market. And now people can even invest in stock through fractional shares, especially like when MTN went IPO. People were able to invest through different apps instead of going to a stockbroker. And even, in fact, I think a lot of women invested in that MTN's IPO, and everybody's they are reaping the fruit of their labor now. And for high risk appetite, those with high risk appetite, people that they have their indabuski, they can they can go for crypto stock. But even as an high risk, I need to put it out there that even as an high risk, even if you have high risk appetite, you should still balance your portfolio with safer investment options. And I think this is why you need a financial advisor or somebody to handle this for you. And thank you so much, Bisola, for shedding light into like investment instruments. Ngozi, I know that you do fundraising and all of that for businesses, but I'm also sure that you have, even if it's from personal experience, things that women can invest in, investment opportunities out there for women. And since you work with so many firms, you should know like opportunities that are out there. So I'd like you to just quickly take us through some of the opportunities that sweet ones that are out there that women can invest in.
Okay, so thank you. Olubusola did a fantastic job by enumerating. Yes, I would just like to chip in that I would advise for the stocks. She mentioned rice bears, bamboo, and all of those.
Yeah.
Those are dollar-denominated platforms where you can invest in dollar-denominated stocks, right? I believe that those are better because, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad to invest in Naira, but I mean, we all know what the Naira is doing. The inflation and fluctuation is difficult for you to track your investment, right? So that's why a lot of people these days are now, moving into, dollar-denominated investments. I recently came across a startup that is working on, you being able to invest in real estate in America. I'm so excited. I can't wait for them to fractional investments in real estate in America. So it's like a group of people can come together, buy and flip. That's something they have there that we really don't have here. So I can't wait for that to be up and running because I think it's a fantastic way for people to be able to invest. So people should also just be on the lookout for, stuff like that. Now, just like you mentioned, I'm in the tech space. So I think another way for people to invest, which is not so popular, but I think should start to gain a lot of traction, is investing in very early stage startups.
Wow.
Becoming an angel investor, right?
Yeah.
There's so many. I've come across so many young, brilliant Nigerians with fantastic ideas, and you know that these people just need. Sometimes they just need 2 million naira. Sometimes they need, I think a lot of them, at that point, a lot of them, I think the most they probably needed is 5 million. Some people need just 500,000. They built a product, they just need to go to market. All of those kind of things. I think, and those kind of business have very high potential. Now, the potentials they have, they could either grow and become a flutter wave, a pay stack, one.
Yeah, unicorn.
Yes, become $1 million valuation, a value company, right?
Unicorn, yeah.
They don't become that, right? The average startup that just launches has between a $500,000 and $1 million valuation. So that alone is pretty high. Now, these companies can get to either be acquired by bigger companies in the future, of course, for a lot of money. I'm sure we've heard some of the acquisitions that have happened, although some of them are announced, they announce their amounts. A lot of them don't announce, fully, they don't fully disclose, right? They could either be acquired or you cash out when the company raises, when the company does a proper fundraising. But of course, you can come in as an early stage investor. Sometimes these guys just need $2,000, $5,000, right? $1,500, just be able to get from point A to point B. We can come in and bridge that gap. Trust me, I've seen people that have 10x their money just by being angel investors. By 10x, I mean whatever it is you invest times 10. So I think it's also a good thing that we should start to look at. And there are so many accelerators, incubators, startup studios that you can approach and say, okay, you know what? I have this kind of money sitting around, or even VC firms, then, syndicates, all of those kind of, things, they are coming up with things that you can approach and say, okay, you know what? I want to join. And some of them, their barrier for entry is really so low. Some, even with as little as $1,000, you can come in as an investor. So I think we should start to look at the tech ecosystem. Trust me, the potential there is enormous.
Yeah.
I can literally say you can almost not lose your money, because let me tell you why. Even if the startup fails, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't fail outrightly. Even a failed startup can be acquired. I'm sure we've all heard about SVB, the Silicon Valley Bank. It was acquired. As much as it failed, somebody still acquired it, right? So
that's true.
No startup really ever fails in total, except if the founders and the people around you don't know what to do. Because even if a startup fails, you still have assets. You have a platform that you can sell. You have data. You probably have users. So you can still find a way to recoup your money. And usually what happens is, even if that startup fails, the founders go ahead and do something else. they go straight into another startup. They take their learnings and go into another startup. So what they usually do is they tell the investor, they say, okay, you know what, this didn't work, but you know what, let's just push that investment forward. I will do something else. And then, you'd also be able to come in and also cash out from that investment. So the chances of you losing your money is very, very, is very slim. And for me, not just that, the impact value that it has to give startups and young entrepreneurs who have brilliant ideas, a lot of them just never get to manifest those ideas just because they don't have that money. So that impact is also something that we should also look at and be proud of if we do take those chances. So yeah, the tech ecosystem, there is money there.
You are really going.
Oh no, there's money there. I just bought a house in Miami for $7.1 million. There is money in tech. Don't let nobody.
God. Yes, I'm very glad you brought that up, because I think sometimes last year is like somebody I look up to in fintech industry, a female like that. She did a seed funding on her Instagram, on her Instagram story. Her first seed funding, she did on her Instagram story, and like she exceeded like the amount
she wanted. Yeah, she crowdfunded.
She crowdfunded on her Instagram story, and it was something like I think Google had to look into, because she exceeded her targets from just her Instagram story, and most of her followers are women. I'm like, oh yeah, wow, women are really trying to get into this thing. And the next time again, she went through, I think, get equity, and she exceeded our target again by like almost 100%. I'm like, wow, I really love that women are beginning to even go big. Like aside from like other like common investments and normal ones that we're very used to, like being it, like internet is really going big. And I like that you mentioned dollars, because right now inflation in Nigeria since last year, it went from 21.82% in February to 21.91% this month. And I really thought that the cash crunch would have eased the inflation, but no. So one of the best ways to hedge against inflation is to invest in dollars. And we have, you mentioned several apps, Bamboo, RiseBest. All of them have all of these opportunities, the investments that women can go into. Thank you so much. And yes, I like a lot of this, but that impact investments, yes. Because I was at an event and people were just saying that women, exactly that, far from just investing, that they tend to look at the impact that most of these investments will have, and most times their thought process is heading towards impact even more than the benefits that comes with just investing. So thank you so much for
my pleasure.
If you are still on the call, please we've been waiting for you, Ife and Adepeju.
Hi,
yes,
I'm back.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome. Welcome. We said a lot. Well, I don't know if you heard, but like if you heard and you think there's anything still missing or something you want to elaborate on, you can just go on and tell us.
Yes, a lot has been said. I think I met some of what Busola was talking about, and the speaker that just finished talking. And I really, really see that justice has been done with talking about the opportunities that are available out there for us, right? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. So what I would just like to come from a different angle. I know we've talked about stocks, we've talked about real estate, we've talked about investing in startups. And I do agree with, I believe her name is Ngozi, that just finished speaking. Yes, I do agree that there's an enormous amount of opportunity out there with investing in startups, right? And as much as there's a lot of innovation going on in the tech ecosystem. So where there is innovation, there are opportunities to make money. But for me, I'll come from a different angle and say that even I believe that one of the greatest assets we can invest in is ourselves as women, right? And I always say this popular quote that says, what the investment that gives you the greatest return in life is the one you make into yourself. And when I say investment into yourself, ladies, I'm not talking about buying the latest wig or buying the latest designer in town. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about investing in knowledge, investing in what makes you better at what you do, things that can improve your earning capacity, things that improve your confidence, things that give you new experiences. See, I believe that if there is a limit in your thinking, you can not really dream bigger than the limits in your that you have in your mindset, right? And how do you break limits? You break limits by going after information, by going after knowledge, by going after new experiences, right? So let's also invest in that, because I believe it should be an wholesome journey, right? Wholesome journey in developing yourself as a woman, becoming a voice to reckon with more. Even if you are a voice, you can still be a louder voice in that your career space, whatever hat you're wearing, career-wise, personally, go after new experiences, go after information, go after knowledge, go after, the way I see the way a lot of people just go after like MBA. Thank you very much. Yes. They are going after this MBA, they're going after this leadership program, this business summit, and they're just making all these investments, and you're like, does it not tire you? Because I have a particular woman in my network that she's always at every conference, she's always at every opportunity to learn. And I have now realized that it's very strategic for her, because even much more than what she's earning as a person in her business and in her work, she's able to pull networks like this. Because she has invested so much time, so much energy into building that. And she's the type of person that gets things done. So at her workplace, she's like, that there's that respect. Like, you want to get something done anywhere in this country, even outside of this country, just talk to her. And she has invested so much time and resources in gathering that network and that experience. So wealth building is so much more than just having money. It's about it's also about having a rich network, a rich social capital that you can leverage on to make your life easier, fuller, and more wholesome. So that is the angle I'm going to come from. That, ladies, let's invest in ourselves. Go to that conference, go to that seminar, buy that course, talk to that, and be courageous, please. The best anyone can say is no. That's the worst they can. That's the best of the worst that they can do. The worst is no. And you move on to the next challenge, to the next opportunity you want to go after. So be courageous in going after these new experiences, these new opportunities for yourself. And let's make it an awesome journey. So thank you very much.
Ife, you are a preacher. This one was preaching, because there are two things I've been trying to pursue, like two events. One is a leadership program, and the other one is like just a conference. And I'm going to put it out there, since we're all shooting our shots. Please, tomorrow there is this event I would like to attend, and then I'm trying to get tickets. I'm going to try to use all of my network, or everybody I know, to try to get to that event tomorrow. Yes, and also I'm also trying to pursue some other leadership program. And yes, this is even to just build my wealth in terms of network too, and also try to do courses and all of that. I'm very, very, very glad you pointed that out. And for real, like, this session was awesome for me. I don't know for every other person, but I hope, and I think that it was been an eye-opener for everybody. At least something would have called out to you of all of the things we mentioned. And I'm so grateful to all of my speakers, Ife, Busola, Ngozi. Yes, for all of the nuggets they dropped. Thank you so much. I had an amazing, amazing time. I don't know if there's anything any other thing anybody would like to say, or if there are questions from the audience that you like to ask any of our speakers. Ngozi, Ife, and Busola, there's nothing more you like to, you can still, something might still be telling you to tell us one or two amazing things, that could really benefit us right now.
Anti-I.
Yes, of course. Of course. Yes, Ngozi. Go ahead.
All right. So this is something that I think I wish I could shout it from the rooftops, right? This is a mistake that I see a lot of women make. Please, women, when you buy property with your spouse or with your partner, and by property, I mean, you invest in anything, please ensure that you have your names fully spelled out. There is no Mr. and Mrs. Lagbaja. Mr. and Mrs. Lagbaja could be anybody, right? Ensure that you have, if, for example, your husband's name is Lawrence and your name is Patience, right? Have it written as Mr. Lawrence Oko and Mrs. Let me say Florence Oko. There's no such thing as Mr. and Mrs. Oko, because Mr. and Mrs. Oko could be anybody.
Yes.
If anything happens to that relationship tomorrow and maybe he ends up with another woman, they are also Mr. and Mrs. Oko. They can claim that it is not you. So have your name and his name written out in full. So it is Mr. Lawrence Oko and Mrs. Florence Oko. If you have more names, please put it in there. Let it be long. But just so that, especially the names with which you have that you have in your means of identification, let it be as it is there, especially if because usually after marriage you have to do change of name and all of those things. If you have changed your means of identification, let it be as it is. If you've not, I think you should process that quickly so that they can always match the name on the documents to the name in your means of identification, so that you can always, it's without a doubt that it is you. It's without a doubt that it is you, so that is something that I see people do a lot. I just see documents and it's Mr. and Mrs. Oh my God. No, please have your name written out in full. And also, nothing stops you from buying property in your children's name, for example, right? You can buy property in your children's name, even born and unborn. But of course, you must, if he's unborn, you must make sure that the name you are putting in the document tallies with whatever name it is you're going to give that child when that child is born, right? So these are the nuances. So please, women, go out there and be awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ngozi. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone on this month's Millennial Hangout, which was for women, and the theme is investment opportunities for women. Now, we've listed a lot of things that we've earlier said: stocks, equity. Stocks obviously is equity, money market, fixed income instruments, high yield savings accounts, bonds, medium risk investments such as stocks. High risk investments like crypto. We mentioned being an angel investor. We mentioned investing in dollar denominated assets or investing in dollars through fintech apps. We mentioned investing in yourself, as Ife said. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. See you same time next month, which is the third Wednesday of every month. And my name is Daniela Olatunji. I remain your host. Thank you to my producer and boss. If there are questions, you could still answer them, or I've asked questions earlier. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Bye, Ngozi. Bye, Ife. And bye, Busola.
Bye, everybody. Bye.